to the stream here, we do have Blue Dog here on the right versus Swift Baby on the left. Blue Dog's Inkling, very strong. PR here in North Carolina. And Swift Baby got third at our Arcadian just a few months back. So he's looking to go ahead and take a big victory here and get started with this bracket.
Looking at Inkling Jr.?
Oh, this is different. The Junior is real. We have, you know, Swift Baby's mostly a Yoshi player, but does also have the Bowser Jr. in the back pocket. So,
and I mean, it's a weird thing I've noticed is a lot of times junior players tend to have a Yoshi, or vice versa.
That is weird.
It is a trend. Like in Jacksonville, we have a junior player, Triple C, and he has been picking up Yoshi as a secondary.
That is odd. There are sometimes just these characters that work together for some reason.
Or it's series loyalty.
And missing the tech there, Swift Baby taking a quick loss of that first stock there.
What are your thoughts on this matchup in particular? Like, I feel like it's going to be difficult for Junior to really get stuff started just because of how evasive Inkling can be.
That's exactly my feeling as well. I think the good thing about Bowser Jr. is they have that advantage state, kind of that Sonic, right? Sonic
Yep.
Jr. is what sometimes we call them. So they're gonna, when they're on hit, they're going to get a lot. But I feel like Inkling is just going to really dominate the neutral game overall. And that back air is really tough to contend with. You see the back air whiff punish. I think we're going to see a lot of that if Swift Baby whiffs on anything, but does get the forward air to kill.
This is, like, looking at their set record, this is the first time that they have done this particular matchup. All of their past sets have been Yoshi Inkling. Right.
So I guess Swift Baby's been in the lab working on the Bowser Jr. and deciding that, hey, we're gonna give it a try. I also like using your secondary game one, right?
Yeah.
Don't wait until you're down 2-0 to bust out the secondary. You're putting a lot of pressure on it. Give it the game one. If it doesn't go well, go to use your main, right? So I think that's a good way to go about it.
Get that opportunity to see how it feels. Ooh, that stopped it. I'm surprised it didn't armor through. I do think, though, had he done the spin out there, it would have just gone straight through most likely.
I think you're right, because that's the armor on the start of that. We do see I have to double check what the Booyah percentage is for Bowser Jr., but it looked like it was potentially pretty big. That looks like a really easy conversion. But Blue Dog is very, very consistent at finding those grabs when you're really not expecting it, or you should be expecting it, but they are able to master movement in a great way.
Yep.
And I always love seeing that. But again, this is still a close first game, so we'll see if Swift Baby can come alive.
Barely not getting the berry there.
Yeah, that's
ran out.
That's a scary situation to be in against Inkling.
Yeah.
Most of the time you want to try to avoid the tech chase entirely because that roller covers so much, but does get the up B ledge trap and kills. So we're here on last stock, last hit.
Yeah, speaking of coverage.
Absolutely. that is a lot. Yeah, if you're jumping, you're dead. If you get up, you're dead. Maybe even if you roll. But,
yeah, it can catch rolls. It's all about, like, the timing at that point.
Right.
I've seen some horrible things happen at that ledge. Ooh.
But close game here. One other thing about, great coverage there as well. Getting the up smash. And Blue Dog taking game one over Swift Baby.
Do you think we're going to see the Yoshi?
I think so. I think so. It wasn't bad enough for it to be like you have to go Yoshi, I don't think. But it is just his comfort pick, so I'd imagine he goes Yoshi here. But again, I didn't expect the Bowser Jr. to begin with, so what do I know?
Oh. We're disconnecting.
There. It is Blue Dog up 1-0 against Swift, so we'll get that fix on the production, but just to be aware there. And we're sticking with the Larry.
I'm not going to lie, in my opinion, out of the Koopalings, Larry, low tier. One of the worst.
You know, I hate to say it because I like Swift Baby, but you are totally correct. Larry is a little bit auraless, doesn't really have the same kind of level. There's just so many other. I think the only one I like less is what's the pink one's name? I can't remember her name.
Wendy?
Wendy. I'm not a fan of Wendy. Maybe I just don't like
the one female Koopaling?
All right, let's not put it out like that.
Only one?
My bad. It is International Women's Day, so I apologize. That's on me.
Yeah. It's just because, like, he's not crazy and zany like Lemmy or Iggy. He doesn't have the cool factor of Roy or Morton. He's just normal. He's just if Bowser Jr. weren't the standard, it would be Larry. He's got the least going on.
Yeah, you're right. What's the most generic? You can kind of, if you're using Bowser Jr. and using Larry, you can kind of honestly imprint your own personality on him.
That is fair. That is fair. But, like, Iggy's out here, like, digging through Trap for Scratch, doing side quests. Roy's busting it down at the club.
True.
Larry's he's got a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Comes home, feeds the family.
Yeah,
he's just existing. He's just having a time. Exactly. And he's dead.
And he's dead. Yeah, struggling to kill. Usually you think in this matchup it would probably be Inkling struggling to kill a bit more. Or in general, Inkling, that's the kind of their issue. But Bowser Jr. here, not finding that correct kill. Just that move.
176 and counting.
And that forward air just kind of comboing a low percent into the jab. That jab is such a strong tool for Inkling. Just able to get that. First of all, it's just so threatening with the dash in the first place. And then also just applying that ink, getting that damage on. We definitely, have seen a lot of this from BlueDog over the years. A lot of jab is a very important tool in that toolkit.
So that boosted F tilt, just covering that ledge. Maybe it took a while to kill last stock, but piling on the damage on this one.
Yeah, I think that's a big part. Is the ledge trap is really important here for Swift Baby. Just getting the damage and getting the kill right there with the forward air. Right, ledge is where it matters. I think the most in this matchup. You don't really want to give Inkling the all control of the stage. You want to keep them in a position where they don't really have a lot of good options off of the ledge, especially compared to a lot of other characters.
Not going to get anything off of that down air on shield.
And we're getting near the booyah percent. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we saw it at around 120 last game.
Now you're starting to get a little bit of rage on that Inkling.
Yeah, and that's where it gets scary.
Ooh, not going to go for a grab. Just going to let it rip, but let it rip the wrong way. Oh, man, that spin out is just such a big mix-up if you're not ready for it to cross you up like that.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of awkward move to cover if you're not aware and get the up smash there, punishing that F tilt. But yeah, that's the thing about Bowser Jr. is if you don't really play against this character a lot, like sometimes they're a little bit of a, could be a little bit of a matchup checking character in a way, just because dealing with that side B is like it is. It's kind of like the worst version of Sonic in its own way in that sense. So, but we are seeing a great game 2 here for Swift Baby, making some good adjustments. I think the stage also is important. You get a lot here off this grab. It's in the right position to put them onto the platform.
And with that platform, there's not that many safe places for an Inkling to go to get away from that side B. It covers so much of the stage. Where are you going to go? Platform. Where else are you going to go?
That's about all you got. But BlueDog taking this back. Oh, but that was where you mentioned earlier in game 1 that that just beats out the side B as well, right? For the Inkling side B rather, the roller.
The old spin to win.
And that is number 1 on the board for Swift. Again, we saw the game count for them, or the set count rather, 5-1 in Swift's record, in Swift's favor, but BlueDog with the last win. So I'm excited to see how this shakes out. This is a big match, right? Going up 2-1 in a best of 5 is so important just for character picks, or stage picks rather. And this is going to be a big one.
Swift Baby does, in worst case scenario, have the Yoshi to pull out if he does start falling behind. You can always hit the Presto Change-O.
Absolutely.
You're never going to see my next move.
Did a lot of shield damage there. But here, this is where Bowser Jr. shines, right? Surprised to see the wow,
67 before the hit.
The 0 to death from Swift Baby. Ooh. Getting those up airs into up air, into up air, and so on and so forth into the side B.
That spin out so strong, hit that sweet spot. 67 dead at ledge. 67.
And it's not town, this is just battlefield, right? This is a normal stage with normal side blast zones, and you're dead. But not being deterred, BlueDog has had to put on a lot of damage here. Looking to make it so that this is as if, here comes the booyah and that will kill, even on battlefield.
For as crazy of an early kill that was,
Very even game. Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Dog really just said, no you.
Yes. Essentially 2-0 to death. And now we're back at the beginning. Oh, I thought we were going to get some up air strings there. Yeah, that is the thing about Bowser Jr. really is, sorry, Larry. The thing about Larry is that
Lawrence. Use his
Lawrence,
government
yeah,
name.
me.
He's an adult.
Lawrence Jr. But the thing about him is just that the advantage is so strong. And here, if you can get the right hit, get the up airs and up airs and up airs, it can do so much.
Going for the baby hammer, but it's not quite going to hit. Might have killed.
It might have.
Screw it. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, go for it.
One of the best jabs in the game.
Yeah, it kills so early. Again, that's another part of where ledge is important here, is that you can punish things like neutral get up with Bowser Jr. and get the kill much earlier than many other characters, or go for the upbees and try to get that. But
Or just eat an up smash.
that is a good reaction. What I have noticed from Blue Dog right now is they seem a little bit more familiar with Bowser Jr. than I expected them to be.
Yeah.
It's a few cases where a lot of people might not realize that this is negative or this is not something, or this is something you can punish. They're able to kind of find some of those situations.
I mean, there's also just it's Junior, so you just gotta expect that he's dog.
This is true.
And just hit the A button and see what happens.
That's true. Maybe I'm giving that a little too much credit. You're right.
You're not a character known for things like frame data
Not
or
quite.
active hitboxes.
Not quite. And, after that really fast start, now it looks like Baby on his last legs. Again, struggling to find those kills. Those fares from the center of stage. Inkling is not a particularly heavy character, but they're living that every day of the week.
Really good DI, and their DI didn't matter. You weren't 9 no matter what.
Not at all.
Even Spark.
Yeah, not even close.
160. A max range Inkling, and you're at 95. This is a terrifying situation to be in.
Yeah, this is scary. This is going to be very close to Booyah.
Might actually be too high percent at this point.
It could be. Oh, there
Boom,
it is.
and there's the roller. Wow.
The walk to make sure you get the right spacing, and a nice 2-stock for Blue Dog, up to 1. Again, falls into Baby's court. Does he stick with the junior? It started off really strong that game, so there's an argument that if you just kind of string together a few of those stocks, you can do it. But maybe you go back to the tried and true, the Yoshi, and we'll see what happens here.
Just looking at that net, the old reliable.
Right. Exactly.
The old George Yoshington. Is that going to be the choice, or are we going to see Lawrence finish out the set?
We do see another Halabashin pick here, and no, it's Larry. Larry again.
Gotta appreciate someone who commits.
Yeah, exactly. You have a game plan. You prepped for this, right? You knew that you were playing against Blue Dog early on, and going with the Bowser Jr. And yeah, again that splatter shot just able to just interrupt it entirely.
Say, oh, you're approaching me? Be gone.
Exactly.
Get out of here. Get out of my face, demon. You think they mix the inks with holy water?
I have to ask one of the Belmonts. They might know a bit better.
That's their supplier.
There's a crossover. There's a crossover with the Inkling and the Belmonts. Here early on, not too much of a advantage either way. Slight one, mostly from just a bunch of neutral wins for this Inkling.
Yeah. One thing we've been seeing a lot too is Swift Baby has been struggling to touch Earth. Just getting down once you're up is just so hard against a character that's that much faster, has that many options to cover it.
Exactly. And that's the interesting thing about the not picking Yoshi, is that Yoshi's kind of sometimes the opposite, right? You're able to double jump and then have that invincibility out of this disadvantage. But also, to be fair, Blue Dog does play a lot against another really strong Yoshi player in North Carolina pretty much every week. So maybe that's part of it too. Maybe it was about the matchup familiarity.
Boot to the back of the head. Chilling at 100% already on the second stock. And the spin out's not quite going to kill either, not from center stage.
Yeah. 67 on the side, but at 130 in the center, not even close. But does find.
Yep. Does find the baby hammer, landing with it. No grab. Ooh, still at 100%. You've got to make magic happen if you don't want to lose this game, lose this set, put you into losers early.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing about Inkling that I think is interesting, and I wonder if there's more applications for it, but really using the roller, using the ink to kind kind of mess with your opponent in a way, right? They're used to a certain movement speed. They're used to a certain being able to space in a certain way. And yeah, there it is. That is has to be a big window. I'm going to look at it later. It has to be. That booyah has been very important for the set consistently.
Catches the startup of the cart too.
And from basically 0 to 40 because of that back air and a jab at the ledge. I like to cancel into the up air. And being careful to not get hit by that baby hammer again, as it did on the last stock. Oh, and great call out.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, just getting the side the forward smash. Sometimes that's you have to save that sometimes for the end of the set, right? You know that okay, like he's doing the spin out in this specific situation.
Just look at him and say, "I know what you are."
Exactly. I know you're going to do it again. Right. Baby, it's minecart for Steve, but it's on a different character.
I know you can't help it,
Yeah,
but I'm going to hurt you.
I'm sorry I have to do this to you. I know you better than you know you. So. But great first set to start off our block.
Absolutely.
Again, a little bit of a switch up from what I expected with the Bowser Jr., but always cool, especially in the earlier parts of these brackets, seeing characters you don't see a ton in the same way. Both Inkling and Bowser Jr. in that sense. So great set from our first